Hi, my name is Justin Jones, and my co host is David Dugan,
What's up, guys?
and we are the Unknown Life Podcast, where we talk about our entrepreneurial ventures, news about the luxurious lifestyle, corporate finance, and real estate. Today, we are going to be talking about the Bugatti Divo, the Ladybug one of one, what are NFTs and how they work, and we are going to be reacting to the Gulfstream G700 and looking at it.
This one's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. All right, so for the car section, we were talking about the Ladybug Bugatti Divo. It's got
Now,
a pretty insane paint job.
now, what's interesting about this is I didn't know what it was, but I saw it a couple. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I want to say, was it Daily Driven Exotics? Some YouTuber.
Stradman was
Was it
Stradman.
Stradman?
Yeah,
Somebody like was taking delivery of it and saw it and said the ladybug, and I didn't understand it because I didn't know anything about it.
yeah.
I'm not wasn't too familiar with it. But this thing looks absolutely insane.
It,
I
I
think
mean,
my
what
favorite.
were you gonna say?
Go ahead.
It took 2 years to paint
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think my favorite thing is the paint job. But why did it take 2 years? That's what I want to know.
because they had to place like all the 1,600 diamonds that they put on there.
Yeah.
Those were all hand placed. So then they needed
Okay.
to paint. They painted it every single one individually.
Because my thing is, I could have like me working with vinyl installing wrap. I know it would take like 2 3 hours max after they're cut out to slap on like that those dots. But
Yeah,
obviously paint's a little different because
yeah.
with paint you got to do the inverse, so you have to mask off everywhere except the diamonds. So I'm sure they made some sort of special template for that. And that's understandable how it took. I don't
I
see
don't
two
think they did.
years though, but
And the third picture it shows showing that they just put masking tape down.
yeah, they use that as the template. Where's the? I'm having trouble viewing the pictures.
Are they not loading?
Is it on the
The website.
Oh, hold up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Applying the diamond cut pattern of the car was very difficult task. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I was talking about. They basically just got a big sheet that looks like that's vinyl, and they just slap it on there and then paint it. And when they're done, they pull that sheet off.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, that makes sense. So basically, they took vinyl, they put it on the car in the shape of the diamonds and masked out around the diamonds is what it looks like.
yeah. Because the owner of this car, it's the same dude that owns the Helby of the Bugatti Chiron.
The Hellbee, okay.
Yeah, which is like pretty
That
much
thing's
like
crazy.
yeah. I mean, this car is already insane as it is. Then now it's got that crazy paint job.
One of one.
One of
Now, did
one.
he pay extra for them to design this paint job himself?
There's
Well,
no one. It's not for sure, but I mean, I'm sure he did.
one of custom job that was commissioned by a single customer. Now, designer used more than 1,600 diamond shapes to create the card's unique pattern. I mean, realistically, it's like it's cool that it's paint, but this isn't like anything that we've really seen with paint.
Yeah.
Like it's like you see this type of stuff in rap all the time, similar
Hmm.
designs, not this exact thing, but the crazy thing is it's paint, and that's where the real value is, because not no rap is really popular. You want a car like this, you don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's wrapped, you're gonna have to redo it in five
Yeah.
years You want something that's gonna hold its
Hmm.
hold its own for a while. But yeah, that thing looks sick, especially the fact that it took 2 years. I don't know how often were they working on it? That's what I want to know. How many hours a day did it
Yeah.
take?
I mean, because they're also about to give up on it. The like design chief said that they're almost about to give up on it.
To
because it
make
was
money, I'm guessing.
too hard to do. I mean, literally, this paint job was probably at least 500 grand.
I mean, what's the price of the car?
6 million.
Jeez, that much of the car is
Yeah,
my gosh.
I mean
I
it's
mean,
40 cars of the Divos
I do
total.
get, I do get the value in it. This car is gonna do nothing but continue to skyrocket
Oh yeah,
over the years. One of one. I know this guy ain't driving it. There's no way. Why would you drive something that? I mean, I'm all for like driving cars if you got them, but if you have a one of one, I'd be scared to let anybody in the room to look at it. You know,
yeah. He drives the one of one Helby.
really,
Yeah,
is that like a weekend car? Or, there's no way he drives it far. It's got to be just to meets and stuff to show off,
yeah.
have fun.
Cause
Talk to.
I think, and in another one of Stradman's videos, it was like the kid does his driver's test in the Bugatti Chiron, and I
Yeah,
think it was the Helby.
that was the Helby.
No, it wasn't. But I know it's Stradman. James sees him a lot.
Helby Bugatti. I'm actually gonna look it up. Look up a picture of it.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, the yellow. Yeah, I've seen this before.
yeah. It's pretty.
Now, who named it? Did he name it,
I didn't
or
see any
did
information on that.
the Bugatti name it? Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo concept car by the French hypercar manufacturer. 16 mil. Wait, hold up.
What?
What Bugatti went for 16 mil?
Oh, it's the La
Yeah, the
Voisin
Lav
Noir.
Vitar. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that because I know I'm gonna mess it up. But that thing looks sick. I've seen that before. It's just popping up on the
Yeah. And then I think they released the Cento IDC also soon. That one's gonna be like
I remember when
9
Bugatti
mil.
did not drop cars like that. Like it's been years. Like it would be like 2 or 3 years before they would drop a car.
Yeah,
On
because
back when they had the Veyron
it was the Veyron for like
for the longest time.
nine, like 8 years.
I think what happened was all the YouTube scene kind of blew up. This is my guess. And cars have become a lot more popular now. These exotics with the YouTube scene, because before, if you owned an exotic, you didn't really get it out there. Your brand
Yeah,
wasn't really being, like, yeah, I own a Koenigsegg, but like, who knows about it? Only people that you tell, it wasn't like social media and YouTube, and everyone wants to go see it. Now it's
yeah,
like millions of people can see it. So obviously, it's like, oh, well,
yeah.
it pushes Bugatti to make more cars as other manufacturers do.
hmm So the
That's my
Bugatti Veyron came out in 1999,
hmm that's
and then
yeah,
the Chiron started in 2016.
yeah.
So they had 15 years. I mean, they did do many different versions of the Veyron. It
Yeah,
was
but
like the same
still,
exact car.
it kind of was stuck on the same general body style.
Cause look up the Bolide. The Bolide's the track car. That thing's insane.
The Buckeye, I believe.
Bugatti Bolide. Cause I mean they got the Vision Gran Turismo, the La Voiture Noir, Centuidece, the Bolide.
Yeah, Bugatti's dropping
Those are
cars like it's
yeah.
nothing.
It's like 5 cars in a couple years. You looking at it?
More than 3 million, only 500 be made. Yeah, this thing looks sick.
Yeah.
Track only, I guess. Is that how this goes?
Yeah, it's got the W16 motor in it. It's gonna be insane.
It's so crazy how those W motors were 1,800 horsepower.
Yeah, and it's supposed to do like 0 to 200 in like 13 seconds.
Zero to
Something.
213 seconds. And how I would love to know how much fuel that thing goes through. 300 miles an hour. I know the old one can. The Chiron. I know that can. It has a limit though, 260, because that's what the tires could handle.
Yeah, the Super
Um,
Sport hit it. They made a one of one Super Sport for it that went 304. It just doesn't hold the
304, yeah.
it just doesn't hold the actual record because they didn't go north and south.
Oh, you have to travel in a straight direction from north to south. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
you take the mean or just the average of like going one way and then you have to go
Average
back the
speed,
other way.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just going
A
to
lot of
be
money.
insane.
I mean, I guess
That's
if
what
you got that
Bugatti's
much money
about.
for a car, yeah, you don't got to worry about them gas prices. Now, so this obviously the track version of the Bolide doesn't have headlights. Instead, it has large
It
X's
does it.
spaced,
Or it has those X's. Yeah, yeah.
which I think that's actually pretty tough.
It is pretty cool.
I think it's
I
actually
don't know how
pretty
they're
tough.
able to do that.
It would have been cool if they
That
made them
scoop
glow.
is humongous.
If they made those
Yeah,
X's glow, like they weren't functional lights, but they could make them.
yeah.
That looks sick.
Because also the big thing of it is the downforce. I think it's got 4,000 pounds of downforce, and it also weighs super small.
Oh, hold up. This is brake horsepower, 1800 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
Or is that to the crank? Because brake horsepower, that's
What's a
way.
crank?
So crank is the crank of the motor. So your crankshaft is what turns the pistons. It's also what
Uh,
drives the transmission. So you got several different ways of measuring it. You got to the crank, which is the most inefficient way of measuring it. That's just straight up the largest number. So like that's before you go through your transmission, the wheels, you lose power along the line. So if you say a car's 1000 horsepower to the crank, typically you lose anywhere between 15 and 25% to the wheels. So your 1000 horsepower car is actually only 750 horsepower once it gets to the wheels. So to say 2000 horsepower, 1800 horsepower to the wheels, or if it's brake horsepower measured at the brakes, which is pretty much, I believe it's almost the same as wheel horsepower. That means the car is really going to be like 2200, horsepower at the crank, which is
yeah.
outrageous.
hmm So I'm looking at the figures right now for the lead. The
Mm-hmm.
0 to 300 kilometers, which is about 180, 185 to 100 or 200 miles an hour. It's 7.37 seconds.
You have to be a you have to be trained. There's no way you could just hop in that thing and go. Like you gotta have to have some sort of like previous track experience or something like that. Be going that fast,
Yeah,
that quick.
and then it does 0 to 310 in 20 seconds.
Kilometers or
No, 300
miles
miles
per
an
hour?
hour.
My
500
gosh,
kilometers an hour.
20 seconds. So basically the at the rate it gets me to go to shoot, I'll probably get to like your average car. Okay, we're gonna look this up. Average speed 0 to 100. I don't know if we can find an exact average, but typically, I would take a guess and say most cars would do 0 to 100 in like 15 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds, somewhere between there. So basically, in the time you're going 100, it probably takes most cars longer than that. I don't know what the average speed, but some cars are pretty quick. But
Yeah,
by the time you get to 100, they're already going 3 times faster.
cause like when I was watching the release video on it, so like this like the axis and stuff, the stuff that's connected to the wheel, it's
Yeah.
3D printed titanium,
How do you
so
3D
it
print
weighs like
titanium?
nothing, and like
How do
it can
you
withstand like a couple tons of pounds, a couple ton of pounds
tons?
downforce.
Yeah.
Like it
So
stand
so
4,000 pounds of downforce or like
this is new to
pressure.
me. I didn't know you could 3D print titanium.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you drop a couple billion on one
Yeah, you
car, I'm
find a way to
sure you.
do it.
Yeah. Because I was surprised when I saw that as well. I'm like,
Yeah,
3D
Proto
printed
Labs
titanium?
titanium 3D printing parts as fast as one day. Low volume production parts. I mean, there's guys who you can outsource it and just get them to do it. That's the future, though. 3D printing.
So its weight is. It weighs 2,700 pounds.
The whole car.
Yeah. Dry weight.
That's not bad.
I think that's less
Fairly.
than the Gordon Murray, but.
It's fairly light. Less than the Gordon.
No, I think
Uh,
it's more. I mean, the Gordon Murray is
that's
less than that.
yeah. The Gordon Murray was 18
Yeah, or it was
1,800 pounds, I
1,800
think.
pounds. Oh my god. Technology is getting out of hand.
We're moving to battery soon, so we'll see how much quicker they start
Yeah.
making cars.
Alright.
Most companies will just do the hybrid first.
That's what the Gamera is. I was just watching Manny's video. In the Gamera, it's going to have. It has a 3-cylinder engine, and then it's got four. It's got a electrical battery for each wheel, and it's going to be
Oh,
making 1,800
jeez,
horsepower.
jeez. I know that's how like the i8 was just a 3 cylinder, but it definitely was not a one motor per wheel.
Yeah. Alright, the next thing we are going to be talking about is NFTs and how they work. So, I mean, David knows a little bit more
You want
about
me
this
to?
than me.
So
You can
I'm
start
I'm
out.
pretty new to NFTs, but I mean we have a simple layout for everyone so they can understand. So basically, an NFT stands for non fungible token. It's a digital asset that represents a wide range of unique, tangible, and intangible items, anywhere from collectible sports cars, virtual real estate, digital sneakers. I mean, there's really no end. It is actually, I believe it's a cryptocurrency, but it's not like a regular cryptocurrency. NFTs can't be directly exchanged with one another, so uh, this is because there's no two NFTs that are identical. So you have Bitcoin, and every single Bitcoin is the same. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that separates them from. You put them all in a pool together. You take one Bitcoin, two Bitcoin, send them to the same address. You got three, and you don't know which Bitcoin came from where. You just have three, and you know who sent them. Like this, there's not one the same. So you can they can exist on the same platform such as games or be in the same collection, but they're not ever identical. So NFT tokens were built using one of two Ethereum token standards. That's where it starts to get a little more complex, but um, They're indivisible, so they can't be divided into smaller denominations, such as Bitcoin, where you have zero point zero 0.01 and zero point zero 0.00, and it goes on and on. These are one solid one, and that's it. No NTFs are the same, and they cannot be destroyed. So once they're created, they're there forever. And since November 2017, there have been a total of 1.4, no, my bad, $174 million in NTFs. I think that's the correct statistic, right? Does that sound
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, 174 million bought or like transaction.
Yeah. And it seems that gamers seem to be the biggest, I guess you could say, market share
Yeah.
taking up the biggest market share right now. Um, Main thing gives them value is supply and demand, just like any other cryptocurrency. And there's a pretty interesting fact here about it. If you want to go over that, Justin?
Yeah, but first, like with the virtual real estate, at
Yeah.
first I was confused because I saw a TikTok and people were literally buying blocks of real estate virtually.
Now I haven't heard much of that, and
Yeah.
that kind of confuses me. But at the
Uh
same
huh.
time, I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
Um, Now the reason I saw it coming was with cryptocurrency and blockchain, specifically Ethereum. That was talked about when it first came out because the way Ethereum works is, you know, it's one big network, and
Yeah.
it's they have these things called dApps, and I believe it there stands for decentralized applications, something like that. And you can write up, you learn the language, you write up code, you can make your own token that lives on Ethereum. So you don't have to go out and make a separate blockchain. Oh, it's very easy to do. And with that, you have endless possibilities. As in, I believe at one point someone was trying to make software that uses the blockchain to make locks for bikes and locks for, so like you could do bike rentals where it would, really interesting, crazy stuff. Um, and they talked about, like, right now they've got domain names that run on the Ethereum network.
Yeah,
You
that's
have,
what, or like, yeah. But because when I looked it up, it was just like flipping domains.
yeah,
But I
and
thought it was real estate, like actual real estate.
and they talked about when they first started doing like domains and stuff like that. It was a big thing. People were like, you can see this being the new way, as like, okay, when you own a car, that's how you track that this is, you are the owner, because with deeds and stuff like that, um and titles, it's very easy to, I guess, um steal stuff. People have issues where they lose titles, they can't get them, things like that. There'd be no question as to who owns it and whose it is, because it's, you can't change it, you can't duplicate it, you can't, there's one and
Yeah.
one of. And real estate was always talked about as in like the far future, but seems like it's actually a lot a
Yeah.
lot quicker here than we expected it.
Yeah. Because I mean, people. It looks like people can just sell their own NFTs. Like
Yeah,
we could literally come up with an NFT.
you can create whatever you, they've made it so easy, and that's
Yeah.
that's the great part about it. That's what they wanted to do.
Hmm.
um, on the same note, I don't see it becoming legal to an extent. I see the government stepping in and wanting to take control because there's too much freedom.
Yeah.
uh, like, we'll see obviously as we get into the future, but the government hasn't really favored cryptocurrency in the past because of the unregulated, which is what we personally, I think it's better that way. I feel like you shouldn't have somebody controlling your money and how you're allowed to spend it. you
Yeah.
know that's my personal opinion, and the government obviously does not agree with any of that. So I do see it being an issue. At the same time,
Yeah.
this is something really cool and unique, but I don't know how long it will last you know
Yeah. Because when I was doing like the summary, it was like the dude that played Spock from like Star Trek. He was like selling like digital photos of himself, and he made like 600 grand off of them.
Jeez.
Like you can literally
600
do
megapixel
anything.
photos.
And like, David, how do you explain to us what Dragon the Crypto Kitty is, please?
Okay, so I'm back when I was into it. This is 2016, I believe. This new website came out, and I played it. And this was when Ethereum just started releasing their dApps and made it, because Ethereum was out for a while. You had Ethereum
Hmm.
Classic, and then Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic was the real Ethereum, and Ethereum eventually got to a point where they needed an upgrade and had to change stuff, and they were doing what they planned on doing. They moved on to what is now known as Ethereum, and the old Ethereum became called, they changed up its name to Ethereum Classic. And once the current Ethereum update came out, everybody started going crazy over these dApps, finding new ways to make it. I mean, they were starting to make gambling sites because you could prove it all on the blockchain. It was
Yeah.
100% legit. You could prove everything and there was records, undestroyable records. And along that came video games. People tried to make games, and there were ones. I think there one used to be like there were fish ones where you bought fish, and they grew to different sizes. And there were sharks, and if the shark ate your fish, when shark would eat somebody's fish, then everybody else's fish would be worth more.
Like as a
And
gambling game?
pretty much, but they didn't really disguise it. It was very well disguised. Um, Obviously, the sharks or the fish were worth a certain amount of Ethereum, and technically it was gambling, but there were a lot of games like that. It
It's
wasn't really
crazy.
because there's not too much you can do when it comes to video games when it was that early on. So everybody was like, "Well, let's make gambling games," and one of those was Crypto Kitties. It's not really gambling, but it kind of is. So you have cats, right? And all these cats are some of them there are only so many that can be made. Um, you would start off with a cat, you would buy a cat, and you'd hatch it somehow. I don't know. I don't remember if you grew it or what it was, but they're all worth a different value of Ethereum. And you find rare ones, you breed them together. It takes a certain amount of time. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen a lot of the dragon games used to be popular where you breed dragons and you have to
How
get
to how to train your dragon?
yeah, stuff like that. And it would just be like, you keep breeding them until you get rare ones. And this was like that, but they all had values to them.
Yeah.
Um, and they all were worth a certain amount of Ethereum. And you could buy more, you could sell them, you could trade them with other people. And I guess now I've been out of this for a while, but this was really popular when I was big into crypto. And there were several that would be worth, and at the time, it was thousands of dollars. So people were going crazy over this game. Some people were really big into it. I personally never caught on to it because I wasn't that interested. But
Yeah.
some people have made a lot of money off of it because they get certain kitten and it's worth a crap ton of money. Now I'm actually gonna look up a picture.
Are they still going right now? Like, are people still playing these?
I believe
You think
so.
so?
I think it is. I think it's still pretty popular. Um,
Crypto Kitties, yeah.
Now they make it really easy because you could actually go on the website right now and look at it.
I'm
Um,
on the website already.
Yeah, and all you have to do, I believe, maybe you don't even need to. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, buy now price is six. It's it's over $1 million. Um, yeah, they each come with their own. Oh, this was hatched in 2018.
Yeah, or like
They all have
2017.
different attributes.
Oh, like
Now I don't
all.
know. Yeah, I don't know which one you're looking at, but if you scroll down this guy that I'm looking at right now, you can see the parents of like who bred them together, and you can see the different attributes and they're called attributes on this, and they do different things. And I believe back when I played, you just had to download a browser extension called MetaMask, and MetaMask would allow you to access pretty much all the different like websites hosted on the Ethereum network
Yeah.
and interact with them. You could directly exchange, buy and sell items throughout the thing. If you
Oh
actually,
god. Oh god. Oh god.
if you look at the top left when you're on their website, it says no wallet. Um, I believe that's because you don't have one of those little browsers or extensions or whatever
Yeah.
installed yet. But I guess it looks like they've expanded it from more than just cat breeding, because it looks like you have puzzles and stuff like that now. So it looks like it's a full on game.
I'm like, it doesn't look like a gambling thing,
No,
really.
it really wasn't ever too much of a gambling
Or like
thing.
just like a money thing. Like you would put
Yeah,
in a bunch of money into this.
I think it always kind of was, but they've kind of strayed away from that. I don't think you need a lot of money to start, but obviously, if you want better cats, then you need to get. Okay, look, you can go getting started, right? Um,
Yeah.
so you got to buy them. So you look around the marketplace, find yourself some kitties. So obviously, you need money to buy them, and then you found a kitty that you like to buy. You click buy.
Exclusive.
They have offers where you can buy new cats.
This is
Um,
hilarious.
you can make a bid in Ethereum for any kitten in the game. Even if they're not currently up for sale, once an offer is made, the owner can choose to accept or decline it. So obviously, as
Oh
people
my
pick them
god.
up,
David, this one, it's 165 grand.
yeah, yeah, there's ones that are super rare, and I think it matters too if they're different generations, because like you have the first gens, and then when you breed two first gens, you get a second gen, and second gens you get third gens. Um, so all those things, selling and serving, it's really like real life with like they do it with horses. Like I don't know if you ever seen it, but like a horse wins a race, right? That horse, obviously, if it's a male, you can figure what's worth a lot of money, and they sell it, but they only sell it to certain females,
Yeah.
and they basically it's a whole money thing. Like you find the best ones and you try to get them to make a better one. And that's what this is. That's
breeding.
exactly what this is. Yep.
You're
Because
breeding your crypto kitty.
they have a whole selling and siring page.
This is
Um, sell
500
and breed.
Ethereum. This
Both
one's
these.
$896,000.
And keep in mind, at the time of this recording, um,
It's $2,000 right now.
oh no, 1,800,
Oh
one
my god.
thousand seven hundred ninety-one bucks. So yeah,
Yeah.
close. I mean, we're close to 2 grand, but
Yeah.
um, about $1,800 per Ethereum. I remember when I started, I had a couple ones that were worth a couple pennies, because I threw a little bit of money in, and who knows, I might still have them. They might be worth something, but I doubt it because I don't think they were special. But I mean, if you look at them, they're not like these pretty, like majestical cats. They're actually kind of ugly.
Some of
Um,
them are, yeah.
yeah, and
Pepito.
they're worth a good amount of money too. I don't know, and they have a whole genetics like section. Like you got to know the different genes and
Uh,
how they get passed on from the parent. Like the game goes into depth. Like they thought a lot about this before they made it.
People got some too much extra time on their hands sometimes.
I mean, if it's making you 600 Ethereum, I mean,
So like then it's pretty much just like reselling, and you buy
yeah,
one for 300 Ethereum, then you can flip it into, you breed it up some, get it some children going.
and then you can flip it. Now, obviously, if they're more expensive, you do gotta wait a little while. But then
Yeah.
again, it might not be worth as much because now you're gonna have an extra generation in
Yeah.
between.
Imagine just like someone like they're just like in a deep game of crypto kitties, and like they're just like, I need to flip this kitty, and like
Do it like a job, like it's like a profession here.
someone would think you're insane. I couldn't imagine explaining this to someone like just a
Who doesn't
random
know
person.
anything about it? Especially if they didn't know anything about cryptocurrency, let
Yeah.
alone It's like, well, there's this virtual currency that I can. Yeah, I sell cats. I sell cats that don't exist. Like,
Oh shit.
whoa,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So you get mutations apparently. Some genes will mutate, and you get an unexpected trait, and I guess the traits affect their they affect their value maybe.
But so is Dragon like one of the cats?
That's the yes. So they all have different names, and each name they get a little bio
Yeah.
about what they're about. So if you actually look at Dragon, he has a snappy cooldown of 30 minutes. I don't know what that. I guess after Kitty
Do
breeds with
people
another
fight him?
kitty. No, this isn't like the Dragon games.
I mean,
uh,
cooldown.
yeah, so I guess it's after they breed. They're unable to breed for a period of time. It takes the kitty to recover. It will increase each time the kitty breeds. So this one's on Snappy that I'm looking at, which is 10 to 30 minutes. Then you have Swift 2 to 5. You know, you have all the way down to a week. But I think it costs money. I know. Okay, so back when I used to play, and I'm pretty sure this is the same way, to do anything on the blockchain, send any sort of data, right? And this is for all cryptocurrencies. You need gas, if that makes any sense. So it's just a set amount of money to move it across the blockchain. Um,
Like a fee.
yes, and that fee is paid out to the miners. That's not the only way of mining money or getting money from mining, but that's one of the two ways. And that fee is given out as rewards to solving the transactions and proving them correct. So in order to transfer any sort of data across, you need gas, and what happens is even if you want to breed your kittens, and I'm not sure if it costs anything, but to do anything like change your name in the game, you would have to send a small bit of gas. Now, to get a transaction through right now, because Ethereum is so expensive, I think the average gas price is about $7 per transaction. So even if
Jeez.
you're, I don't know if you're going to be breeding your cat, and I don't know if it costs money to, but if it doesn't, regardless to do that action, I know you're at least going to be like $7 8.
We should just
Now,
do a little bit. We should put like 20, like $50 into this. We can turn it into a series.
and play it
Flip,
for like the
flip
next
our
two to
cat.
three months and see if we can't
I mean, I got the Volcat right now.
flip it and make more money.
Yeah, Volcat, 999 plus Ethereum. It was not. This Volcat is worth 999 plus Ethereum.
Jeez, 999. Or is that what they're selling them for?
I think. Yeah, it says buy. I mean,
So it looks like people have their own collections.
I wonder if people. I wonder if people have turned this into a series. How much Ethereum did you have, David?
Back when it was nothing, it was I had like 11 something at one point, and that was. I mean, let's put it in a calculator now. I
That would
think
have
it
been
was a
like
couple $100, but now
I mean,
11. I know it was more than 11, but that's about 20 grand. So that would have been a quick 20 grand from nothing.
fix and
It was
flip.
worth nothing, absolutely nothing. I think I know when I had it, it was like $60. The lowest it was worth was like $60. Like, man, what was? Let me look at the price chart. Coin Market Cap, I think, is the website that I used to use. Yeah. You don't know how big I used to be into this. I would check every single day prices of all the coins. I always knew what was going on. So back in 2016, it was two. Yeah, I remember back when it was like $2 a coin.
Oh my god!
I
So you
remember
had like 20, like $34.
yeah, I remember when it jumped like 13. It held at 7 for a while. That's what I remember before it took off and it never went back. Yeah. If you go and look back at the price chart, it held between 7 and 12. And then it bounced back down to 8. And then it got to 7 one last time. And it just never went back. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, you can look it up. And Ethereum, it's just so crazy.
We need to get into this Crypto Kitty thing.
My thing is, how do you make money unless you have an expensive cat? Because people aren't going to want to buy the cheap cats.
I mean, if they just want like high quantity, we'll do some more research.
Crypto Kitties. Okay, let me
This
see.
one is.
My thing is, do people actually make money? Or okay, so look, okay, interesting. Now, Crypto Kitties is an NFT,
It isn't.
non-fungible. No, it
Oh, it
is.
is. Yeah.
Crypto Kitties is a game based on digital collectible cats in the form of ERC 721 non-fungible tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. The player can buy, collect, breed, and sell these virtual cats and also earn money from them. The fact that NFTs are used allows the user to be the sole owner and use them at will. Each cat has its own DNA and 12 attributes called cattributes. Yeah, you need the MetaMask wallet to play, like I was saying earlier. Uh, you gotta purchase a CryptoKitty by paying in Ethereum, the real marketplace, NFTs on the website, which allow users to buy them, start playing, as well as resell them. To earn money, it is necessary to make the CryptoKitty more attractive to the market. In fact, not all attributes are the same. Some are more rare than others. The trick is to obtain rare attributes from a kitten in order to make it more attractive to the market. The point is that the kitten with the rarest attributes can be worth hundreds of Ethereum, so it's technically possible to earn a lot of money. First attribute to take into account is the generation. The lower it is, the higher value the kitten. Every 15 minutes, new kittens are generated with Gen 0, and each time they mate, they generate other kittens with a higher gen than the parent who has the higher gen. Pairing is precise. Um, it's very difficult to generate kittens with rare attributes through mating. But that's what the game's about, finding a way to generate kittens with rare attributes so they're worth more than their parents. So while playing the game is theoretically very easy, all it takes is buying crypto kitties and pairing them. It's very difficult to earn money because kittens generated by pairing are usually worth less than their parents. The trick, if successful, is to make the mating two parents generate a crypto kitty with rarer attributes. The value is higher. The fact is that the way attributes pass from parents to offsprings is secret, but it works similarly to real-world genetics. Higher probability of the attributes possessed by the parents will be inherited. However, this doesn't always happen. So I guess it's all by chance.
So it's not. I mean, here's one for $20.
Where are you looking at the catalog right now? Or
Great value
are you
kitties.
on search? Oh, search for sale.
Yeah.
$8,
Uh,
$7. Is there Gen 11?
I don't know where I'm at.
Jeez. Okay. Well, how do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Low to high. We're gonna sort by. Okay. I want. You can choose which generation. So we're just gonna go Gen 0 cats. All right. Oh my gosh. Gen 0, 4 grand. Uh,
What?
oh my bad, $463. So if you wanted Gen 0, you're around 400 bucks. Some of these are 500.
Bro, all of there's like so
They
many
have shiny
cats that
fancies
are
like the freaking
worth more than a
Pokemon.
thousand Ethereum. Pokemon cards. I mean, I got one number 1387825 for $7.
But but that's the problem. All of those kittens will be worth less because they're gonna be Gen 12s and up. Like there's no way to get it lower. Like you gotta straight up get two Gen zeros. But how do you get a Gen zero? Gen 2s. Here's some Gen 2s. I can't find Gen 1s because it just goes straight up to. Oh, here we go. A Gen 1 for $15. That's not bad. But like
Yeah, here's a Gen 19 for 1,000
Gen
Ethereum.
19 for 1,000.
Yeah, it's Pudding Dainty Tot.
He's a unicorn.
He's a unicorn.
Time left 1 year. Cooldown 5 minutes.
Aloha.
Oh my gosh. Gen 1 H1 gene swap. What is H1? Oh dude, this gets too complicated for me. All the different attributes that you have to go through.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
for real.
I'm just wasting time at this point looking at this stupid cats.
So now we are gonna be looking at the Gulfstream G700. It's a crazy jet. It is priced at $75 million. It can seat up to 19 people, sleep up to 13 people. It's got a range of 9,000 miles. It's got a
I
lot of
would like to
crazy
know.
features as well.
Yeah, what's interesting is that lighting that simulates the sunlight from your destination. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think you'll see it in the video. I think
Oh, wireless charging on all the tables.
it's got a pretty good range. You could go
It's pretty
New
far.
York City to
About having to fill back up.
Greece. Let's see. Yeah, you could go New York to like Russia. New York to Greece is only five
Should be
thousand
fairly
miles.
light with the small amount of passengers it takes.
I mean, that's pretty big for like just a jet, not a business jet.
You actually get a real bed to sleep in.
I don't want to. I know. Or you go to Moscow's shorter than Greece.
It's kind of wild. 100% fresh air in a whisper quiet cabin. How much
Yeah,
sound deadening did they have to go through to get it that quiet?
I'm sure it's. I'm sure they did a lot.
The Gulfstream developed coax special LEDs. Does the sunset and sunrise to gently coax the passengers to the new time zone, greatly reducing the physical impact of traveling halfway around the world nonstop. Top comment: I'm going to the jet dealership this weekend for a test drive.
I mean, literally, like, so on a normal plane, you're like flying at like 30,000 feet. So, like, this one, the normal cruising height is 51,000 feet.
Of course, you got. I mean, you're in a jet by yourself. You got to be. You got to have the air to yourself too. You can't be low next to
Yeah,
all the peasants. You gotta.
yeah. You gotta spread yourself from them. You gotta social
I'm not gonna
distance.
lie. This thing would be a nice experience. That'd be great. All
Yeah,
jokes aside,
just gotta have two of them.
I wonder how much they cost.
75.
That's right. 75 million.
It's not
75
too. It's
million.
not too bad of a loan.
Not
You do
too
like
bad of a
twenty
loan.
percent. Yeah,
Well,
if you do twenty
okay.
percent down.
Well, what would the term loan term on
I
a
don't.
jet? I would assume it would be like a they give you okay. Uh, what is a lend jet? Regardless if you choose to finance the jet, the actual terms of the loan will vary. They say 8 to as long as 25, determined by the private jet
It's
age
nothing.
and flight
It's like your
number. So,
house.
a jet loan calculator. Here we go. Aircraft loan calculator. Purchase price 75 million.
Yeah.
Down payment, we're going to say 20%, which is going to be 15 mil. The max term, we're just going to set it to 15 years just to be like, oh, wow, we'll do 20. We'll do 20. You're buying it brand new.
Yeah.
Interest rate, it automatically has it in here is 3.8 to 7%. So basically, you're going to be getting a loan amount of 60 mil. And for a 3.8% interest rate, you are going to, the monthly payment. So if you did a 10-year loan, it would be anywhere between 600 grand a month to 700 grand a month. If you did a 15-year, it'd be 437 grand to 539 grand. 20-year, you'd be looking at something a little more reasonable, 357,000 to 465,000, depending on your interest rate. So basically half a million
Yeah.
a
There's
month.
just so many things to a jet. Like you got gas, bro. Like gas is like 50 grand for a full tank,
Oh, let's not even talk about gas when we're talking about the hangar itself, like to keep
and then
your
the
jet in.
hangar. Uh, I think I was watching a video on like LAX. I think it's like a million a year.
My next door neighbor has
One of those like small jet or
he
like
has a
small
smaller
planes.
plane, but I don't think they charge him
Yeah,
too much. Outside storage is typically cheaper than hangars. Urban airports charge more than comparable rural airports. Average hangar cost is 275 per month plus $100 for tie down gear. But obviously, if you got a huge private jet,
yeah. I mean, if you can afford that, I'm pretty sure you can afford anything else.
annual cost for small airplanes about 6 grand a year on average for rent for a hangar. These are just different sites, different
Yeah. I mean, also they depreciate a lot. That's the one thing. Like you'll see
huge,
like 10-year-old jets for like
well, huge tax write off, man. Huge tax write off. On the face of it, anyone can deduct 100% of a plane's purchase price and maintenance expense of the planes used for non recreational purpose. After the first year to keep deduction, the owner has to ensure the plane is used at least 50% of the time for business.
you're just going on business trips.
That's what I bought my laptop to do the business.
Yeah.
The one I just got today or yesterday. Why not? It's a tax write off.
Oh yeah, I was watching another video, and like I think like the front windows like for the pilot.
Yeah,
I think those are like 150 grand.
just for the window.
Yeah, just for the window.
I mean, that's where part of your 75 million's going. It's crazy.
Then you also
Into
got
a
your
window.
crew. You got to pay your crew decent.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I mean, that's for the ultra wealthy.
All right, guys, that is going to be the end of the episode. Have a good day, guys. Bye.
See you guys later.